You can start now.
Meeting is called to order. This is a special meeting of the Commission to consider proposal presented by two of our commissioners, Commissioner Buckley and Commissioner Howard, for the Commission to host an event. And the purpose of this meeting is to receive a presentation about the proposal and for us as a commission to decide whether we wish to proceed and hold this event. In other words, to give it our approval. And so I'm not going to say much at this time because there's not much for me to say. This whole meeting is really for us to hear from Commissioner Buckley and Commissioner Howard, and to ask them whatever questions we wish to ask concerning the proposal they will be putting forward to us. I understand that everyone has had an opportunity to review the proposal as drafted by the two commissioners, and so I hope we can proceed very quickly through this meeting. This meeting will last at a maximum 1 hour, and I've already taken up 2 minutes. So let me Miss Madigan, you raise your hand. You have something to tell us?
I just wanted to ask if Commissioner Buckley and Commissioner Howard wanted me to share the screen with their presentation.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay, all right, let me get that up. Can everybody see it?
Can see it, but it's going to be hard to read it.
Is it small?
Yes, but we have a
There's
camera
a pa-
presentation. I think I can share it on I think I was made co-host.
Okay, that's better.
Okay, I'll stop sharing then.
Okay.
Commissioners, take it away.
Thank you. Just waiting for Samantha to pull up the PowerPoint.
It just has to allow me to do that.
I'm going to sit back and relax and listen carefully.
Can you see the presentation? Yes or no?
No.
No.
Okay, asking me. It has like a security and privacy.
I didn't have a PowerPoint, I just had a PDF.
There's a link. If you see the link in that email, that's the presentation.
Well, can I just ask a quick question? If everyone has the hard copy, the first one wasn't that bad, and it was a bit small print. But if you're going to be struggling to get it larger, can we just proceed if everyone has a hard copy in front of them? Because you're going to walk through the presentation anyway, right?
Forgive me for jumping back in here. I really made a significant error in not welcoming new Commissioner Anderson John. Commissioner John, welcome to the Caribbean Commission.
Thank you.
I look forward to meeting you in person.
Likewise.
Okay,
Okay.
now can you see it?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I would like to use a presentation because we did take the time and the effort into doing it. So Here we go. Commissioner Buckley, take it away.
All right, great. Good evening, everyone. We are so pleased to share this presentation with you, and we do appreciate your willingness to entertain a request for a called meeting. So you know that both myself and Samantha are members of this commission, and we have this presentation that's ready for you, and we are ready for your questions. And there will be a point where we will be seeking your input. So we are members of the Health Committee on this Caribbean Commission. And so we've been really thinking about how can we thoughtfully and intentionally host an event that addresses health. And so this is what we have for you, a forum on identity, wellness, and belonging. The purpose of this forum, and if you want, you can go to the next screen, Samantha. The purpose of this forum is for us to be able to create space, but share space. As we know, the Caribbean diaspora is very diverse. And even though we are Caribbean people, that diversity means that we do things similarly, but also different. And so the hope is that through this forum, we will be able to create opportunities for connection and celebration amongst our diverse Caribbean communities. This forum will give us the opportunity to spotlight and highlight leadership. We know that the Caribbean community here in Maryland is impacting local communities, small and large. And so we want to be able to talk about what the work is of some of these leaders. And because we want people to understand what resources and services are available to them. All right, next slide, please. So it's going to be a 90-minute virtual presentation, 90 minutes from start to finish. That includes introductions, it includes the contributions of the panelists, but more importantly, it includes the participation of attendees. We would like to hope, we've set a goal of having, or hosting rather, at least 100 attendees. Keep in mind that this is a virtual event. So 100 attendees is not that much in the grand scheme of things, but that really depends on our publicity. You know, how are we doing with getting the word out? We will utilize all available formats, of course, according to the policies of GOCHI. But again, our aim is to have at least 100 attendees. And as you can see, our key goals are to amplify voices, to engage in culturally informed dialogue, to establish and foster and nurture community connection, and to increase representation. Okay, next. And of course, Samantha, feel free to jump in at any point.
Sorry, I went in the wrong direction.
So thank you.
I do want to jump in on this one about Healthful Spaces. This virtual forum is absolutely a solutions-based approach. It is not from the vein of what we don't have, but creating, but what we want and what we need in a culturally responsive way. And with representation as the kind of like primary goal of having Caribbean people with lived experience that are at the forefront of these messages and at the and leading these conversations as well. From the people that we have in mind and their lived experience and their professional trajectories and just their involvement to the proposed topics and just the fact that it's coming from the commission, that it's coming from GOCHI, and that it is kind of like for us by us. You know, I think that that has a lot of weight in terms of having these organic conversations, and particularly right now as it relates to wellness experiences, when different communities are feeling what is happening in the world in very different ways. And I think that it's important to create safe spaces where people can have these conversations. And while it is complex, it's still important to create helpful spaces, right? To have these conversations, which otherwise you may not have. You may have them in your home, or you may have them with a friend or two, or you may not have them with someone from another island, right? And Commissioner Buckley and I have had several conversations about Caribbean unity, and this would really add to that space of in the virtual forum.
Maybe we should also share who some of the panelists are that we are thinking about thus far rather. And we're bringing this to the commission because we would also like your input on at least 2 more panelists. We want to limit the number of panelists because, you know, when you have a panel that is too large, if you've ever served on a panel that had 1 or 2 too many people, then it made it difficult for everybody to be able to contribute in meaningful ways. So, and of course, we have not yet extended an invitation to any of these prospective panelists. We wanted to be sure that these panelists came from varied backgrounds. You know, on one hand, it's important to have name recognition, but it's also really, really important that people who are boots on the ground doing the work get the opportunities to share about the work that they are doing. And so the panelists that we are thinking of, one of them is actually my councilwoman, Odette Ramos. She is a Puerto Rican woman here in Baltimore City. She represents district, oh my God, what is my district again? Just, I'm drawing a blank. The district doesn't matter.
The district that you live in, that's
So
what
exactly.
Yeah.
So that is one of our prospective panelists. Odette Ramos is very proud of her Caribbean identity. This is how she shows up in spaces. You know, sometimes people are shocked when they learn that someone is from a particular region of the world. Nobody is ever shocked to know that she's Puerto Rican because that's how she shows up. The other panelist that we are considering is Delegate Regina Boyce, and she is a Caribbean descendant. Both of her parents are Caribbean. Her mom is Jamaican and her dad is Bajan. And similarly, any work that she does, it is evident that she cares about her constituents, she cares about Maryland at large, and she cares about the Caribbean community and is looking for ways to advance the needs of the Caribbean community. Samantha.
Oh, to the next slide.
Oh, wait, you got to share the other perspective.
Oh, sorry. So one of the other panelists that I had wanted to bring forward is Omar Eaton Martinez, and he is he works for the National Historic Trust. I believe he's the vice president, and he is Puerto Rican, and he does a lot of work in the Afro-Latino space. So he has a lot of very big insights on the Black immigrant experience, and on cultural preservation and historical preservation. And I believe that he would be a really, really good asset to this panel. And I believe Veronica Cool was the other one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and so Veronica Cool, she's from the Dominican Republic. She is the CEO of Cool and Associates, and she works in the space of community engagement and just outreach and reaching different communities. She was a part of the campaigns and the advocacy for the Healthy Babies Act and the healthcare legislation that comes out ensuring that that immigrant communities know about these resources and how to engage with them. So she's very dynamic. She's very outspoken, which I love about her. And I think that, and as also a Dominican woman, she has a very unique lived experience that she could bring to this panel as well.
Okay. Next.
There we go. So this is just basically the format of how it would go. So there's a curated panel of 4 to 5 panelists representing varied nations and linguistic Caribbean backgrounds. It would be moderated, so there would be a moderator as well. And we have not identified a moderator, so it's not set in stone yet. That would be it could be either a commissioner or someone from the outside. 60-minute conversation guided with 4 to 5 key questions. There is a portion for audience engagement, which I think is really, really important so that people aren't we're not talking at people. It is an opportunity to create community and to have questions and to have dialogue. And the virtual spaces do lend for that. So a 20 to 30-minute Q&A session. And then the outreach and promotion of the event so that we can reach the 100 participants. And that would be through all of our networks, Goki social media, our own social media platforms, so that we can get wide participation across the state, and not just within our own communities too, but people from outside the communities that can come and learn more, or just be a part of what we're talking about, which I also think is important. And do we want to take questions now, because I see that Commissioner Christian has his hand up, or do we want to wait till the end?
Yeah, let's just wait till the end. Let's just finish up the presentation.
Is that okay,
Almost
Commissioner?
done.
Awesome. It's not very much more. We don't have that much more. So these next slides are based on the questions that we were given from Director Diksha about what are our key deliverables. And like we said, it said holding it in Q4. So we do have some proposed dates, but it would need to happen this year. And like the panelist engagement, event agenda moderator guide, promotional materials, participant feedback, and a survey for post-event. I think that that's really important, so that number one, we know we can find out whether this added value and whether people enjoyed it, but also what can we do in the future? What are their future interests? What did they feel could have been improved, considering this will be our first virtual event. Then I think it's an opportunity also to learn what people want to know about, or whether they like the format or not. And then there are some exclusions, which is that there would not be live translation or multilingual programming, so it will be an English program, and that there will be disclaimers that it is not a clinical space, and that the discussion remain, which would be more the moderator's role, that the discussion remain about community and cultural level, and not therapeutic or going into diagnosing anyone or anything like that. And then it's not in person, it would just purely be online.
So I want to add to that, because I kind of jumped over really what the focus is. Again, so the term wellness means different things for different people. For some people, when they hear wellness, they think going to the doctor. Others think of therapy. Wellness in this context, with our Caribbean identities, wellness is all of those things. Wellness is, the frequency in which people go back home, quote unquote. It is, going to the Caribbean market to do your grocery shopping when you're looking for specific items. Wellness is directly tied to our identity. And so the intent with this forum is to, bring to the forefront the fact that while we are significant contributors as Caribbean people here in Maryland, in many ways, there's a lack of visibility. in terms of who we are and how many different Caribbean communities we actually have represented. And so the panelists will be asked a variety of questions that will speak to the wellness identity and the wellness needs of Caribbean people here in Maryland.
Exactly. All right, did you want to cover this one, Commissioner Buckley?
Well, I think we already talked about this. So of course, it's going to be virtual. We're using the Zoom platform, which means that people would either need to log on from their phones, laptops, or computers.
Okay. And we will need survey tools. So a Google form is probably just as well, but if there are other survey tools, I'm not sure what is available through Goki, and just the materials leading up to. And there would be no budget because we would already use the already available resources through Goki. The primary stakeholders that we are identifying for this event are Maryland Caribbean community, the panelists, Caribbean serving organizations within the state of Maryland, and then Goki staff and commissioners. But there is potential to partner with other entities and to make it, depending on capacity. I'm not sure if the Goki Zoom has a capacity. I know some licenses have limits. Then it could open up to allies and other communities who may be interested in this particular topic as well. And so this brings us to the end of the presentation, and this is the opportunity where we can take questions and hopefully provide some clear and concise answers.
Okay, thank you very much. Can you take down the share now? Thank you. Before you make any decisions on who the speakers will be, will you wait and accept some recommendations from commission members?
Oh yes, of course.
Yes, we would like the contribution of commissioners for at least 2 other panelists.
What you're saying to us then is that the 3 or 4 that you've named are already set in concrete.
No, because we haven't extended any invitations. If there were any
No,
concerns,
the reason why I say that, Dr. Commissioner Buckley, is that you said you had 2 spaces left.
mhm,
I think you still have 6 spaces. Because until you get recommendations from the commission from which to choose your 6, you shouldn't decide on anyone.
well, since we are the chairs of the committee, we are presenting who we thought would be ideal candidates for this opportunity. However, of course, we are open to your thoughts and your ideas as well.
No, that's fine. I have no problem with that. But you don't know, none of us know the extent of what we have in our community
Absolutely.
and who can make valuable contributions to this discussion.
Totally agree with that. Yep.
So I think while you already identified some people, I may be able to identify 2 or 3, or another commissioner may identify some. And also, you did mention commissioner participation as panelists, if I got it correctly.
No, we did not mention commissioner participation as panelists. And the reason for that is because we wanted to ensure that we're doing our job as commissioners and bringing members of the community forward and giving them the opportunity to serve on the platform.
What about as moderator? Same thing?
So Samantha said that we hadn't yet identified the moderators, and in fact, we did talk about, since we are the co-chairs of this committee, that we would potentially be the co-moderators, but it definitely doesn't have to be us. It can be whomever is the best fit. We're not that tied to whoever serves as moderators.
Well, I think that was a good idea anyway, that both of you being commissioners. So the commissioners itself, or the commission itself, would have valuable visibility in this forum. So I don't see where that should be a problem.
Yeah.
There are other commissioners who have views on this, and I'm sure we'll hear from them now. Vice Chair.
Thanks, Commissioner. Thanks, Chair Board.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I would like to give Commissioner Christian an opportunity to speak because he did have his hand up first during the presentation, if that's okay.
Yep.
Thank you, Sister Howard. Thank you, Sister Buckley. Good to see all of you. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hear from you. And I just want to say that it's a wonderful idea to have this type of forum. Coming from the student movement, I always think it's good to have students. They're the future of our entire community. I've known Ambassador Ward, I don't want to date myself, since I was in college. And we have a very strong University of Maryland College Park Caribbean Students Association. We did a project with them last November. So I'm going to recommend that we have a student.
Great idea.
I'm sorry?
No, I was saying that's a great idea.
I'm also going to recommend that we have one of our media personalities, the only Caribbean television entity, it's Carib Nation, led by Larry Sinders with Doris Dean. And I think he'd be a good voice because he is, his platform represents that platform that's allowed us a voice. So if we're talking about creating spaces where there's dignity and respect and there's a fluidity in communication, I think that would be a good addition to the panel. Of course, I'd like to hear what the other panelists think. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Sorry, before we continue to make recommendations, I think what we want to do is really to set a policy rather than to make named recommendations. If any commissioner wants to recommend someone, then that should be submitted to the co-chairs in an email with a little brief on that individual you're recommending, maybe a bio or something. The recommendations made here really not going to go very far.
Can we
No,
do
I think
both?
that-
Can we hear I appreciate hearing the names here, but I agree totally that sending just a brief blurb would be helpful. I totally
And I think that following this meeting and following a potential vote, that we would have follow-up instructions on how we would move forward.
Okay. Mr. McTreen, Commissioner McTreen.
Yeah, thank you very much. First of all, I thank both commissioners for the, I think it's a very nice, very good, rather not nice, but very good presentation. And one is can really have a profound impact on the community. So I think it's a very positive step. Just to follow up on the initial comment you made, Chairman, Mr. Chairman, it's really what I was going to ask or suggest anyway, because I think if we have three fixed, well, not quasi-fixed, they really haven't been approached. Maybe we should look at the process of selecting the panelists, since they're not really fixed. Because otherwise, what's going to happen if we open it up? We have 3 slots, and I'm looking at process here, not the individuals. So we already have 3 slots, or 4, I'm sorry. 4.
6.
No, I know it's 6 total, but we already have 4 sort of quasi-filled. We haven't really, and I'm not criticizing the numbers, so I'm looking at process. If we have 4 already, and we are looking for a total of 6, and now we open it up, So really, in essence, we're opening up for the selection of 2 more panelists, right? So I'm just asking in terms of the process, if based on the question that was raised, should we or would the co-chairs consider really recommendations sort of lumped in with these 4 and make the selection from that particular group?
Yes, absolutely.
Otherwise,
100%. Yes.
yeah, otherwise, we've already filled some technically, and we're saying, commissioners, it's that many of you, could you provide us, some bios on this, and potentially you could get 4 out of that list, but we're only looking for 2. So it's just a suggestion I have, so that we don't really stumble on ourselves, is that we have 4 given so far. We offer recommendations, the other commissioners, and we come up with a total of, I'm making up a number here, of 10. So now, as co-chairs, you would have developed, based on what you know and what you're trying to, your objectives, is to get the best 6 out of those 10, as opposed to 2 out of whatever.
Yeah, and then you have to keep in mind too people's availability and things like that.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Rather have more than 6
Yeah.
to choose from, in case people aren't available.
And that's what and that's what I'm suggesting. Only because if we say 4 taken, right, and then maybe as co-chairs, maybe you can also provide us the entire commission. Here's the criteria. In other words, I would suggest that maybe we entertain, even though geographically doesn't always make sense, but we may want to entertain others from the Southern Caribbean, for example, that are capable of, from Jamaica. I know someone here is from Barbados, so their parents. You have Trinidad and Tobago, you have St. Vincent and Grenadines, you have, the Southern Caribbean. So you may want to come up with a criteria for the 6 people that to be selected. But I think it's a
great idea. In terms of, we want it to be diverse, of course.
Yeah.
We're open to whatever recommendations that you all have. We were proactive with presenting 4 names, but
that's good.
Yeah, we're not we're not married to these 4 people. We think they're dynamic, but if there are others who are equally dynamic, which I'm sure that they will be, because they'll be coming from you all, equally dynamic, but also available, then that's who we'll go with. We appreciate that feedback. The criteria, I think, will be helpful.
Okay. Well, in terms of dynamism, language-based community engagement, and so on and so forth, all these are criteria for me. And we also need diversity across the Caribbean, in terms of who they might be. And just to correct Commissioner Maxine, Jamaica is part of the Northern Caribbean. I just thought I'd let you know that it is considered part of the Northern Caribbean, along with the Cayman Islands, okay, and the Bahamas.
Yeah.
But that's just a geographical position. In terms of affinity with the rest of the Caribbean, that's very close. But the idea is, we don't know what date it's going to be yet, do we? So in terms of,
it's Miss Madigan has made a very good point. Before we proceed, a motion would have to be made, so I just want to bring that up before we proceed.
A motion to accept the idea that we'll go forward with it.
That's true. And then we open the floor for discussions.
I would rather not have the motion to agree before we can agree on what it is we're going to do, not just the concept itself.
That's the purpose of Robert's Rules. That's why we have the discussions.
Yeah.
So
we have to discuss the proposal in its entirety, and then we decide whether the answers that we get or what we glean from this discussion
Well,
persuade us to agree to the idea.
remember that the motion simply says that you all have accepted our proposal, not that you're approving it. The motion simply says, okay, yes, this is on the floor, and we're now opening the floor for discussion.
And Director Decha has her hand up.
Who is that?
Yeah,
Whose
thank
hand is
you.
up?
You were saying, Ambassador, Chairman Ward, you were saying? I'm sorry, I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so I just want to remind everyone, like, I thought this opportunity, right, it was just to asking questions and answer, right? If these opinions or recommendations and everything, it has to be after the voting, if the commission agrees to continue with this project. I just want to say that before more comments and suggestions, continues, right? And that's it. Thank you.
I hear the voices that suggest we vote on whether to proceed with the project before we talk about the project.
I mean, Mr. Chair, that's fine. I mean, we can take a vote. I think it's a good idea.
All right. So I will entertain a motion to adopt the project as a project of the Caribbean Commission. So who wants to move that motion?
I move a motion that the project as outlined by Ms. Buckley and Ms. Howard be embraced as a project of the Caribbean Commission.
So will you,
What do you mean by
Commissioner
embrace?
Christian has first.
When you say embrace,
A second.
can you change that word in your motion to say we accept or
guess-
approve of?
I'll rephrase it. I move that the project for safe spaces as proposed by our panel, our commissioners rather, be embraced, or rather be accepted rather by the Caribbean Commission. Thank you, Ambassador.
Excuse me, technically the motion needs to be put in to accept to some wording of the name of the exact event that wants to happen.
So
And then we need a first and then we need a second.
the motion should be that I move to accept the proposal presented by Commissioner Buckley and Commissioner Howard to host a forum, host the Maryland Caribbean Voices Forum.
Okay.
That would be
Let me I've never been a lawyer in my life, so let me try to see if I can be a non-lawyer here. I move
Excuse me,
that the
sorry.
Caribbean Commission, I move that the Caribbean Commission accepts the proposal by Commissioners Buckley and Howard for a Caribbean Voices Forum. Is that acceptable?
That is perfect, sir.
Can you
Thank
have
you.
a second to that motion? Does anyone second the motion?
Samantha Howard and Louis.
Mr. McSween has seconded the motion.
And
All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
All those against? Any abstentions?
Actually, Robert's Rules no longer entertains abstentions.
Yes, I do. We have to ask for abstentions, yes. As far as I know of, at every motion that's been given. I will look into that, Commissioner Buckley, but I know it's still happening, so I will get in, you know.
Die hard.
I would also like to record the no vote.
Well, hold on, because it's still open on the floor, so we need to.
No, it's not open. That motion is accepted and voted on. The ayes have it.
It was
There's no further
unanimous, Sid.
opportunity to vote on that particular motion. And that's the ruling from the chair. So we have the ayes, we have the noes, the ayes, we have abstention, and we have no vote. If they exist. It's important that when we participate in a vote, we are going to be counted one way or the other. I think that's important for the record. Okay, I open the floor for further discussion. Any further comments on the forum? Well, I do have a comment, and I would like Ms. Madigan and or Ms. Dekja to explain to us what is necessary to have this forum recorded to be available, to be posted on a website, so more of the community will have access to it. I have been engaged for years doing webinars and forums, particularly intensified during COVID and since. And once we record the event and post it on YouTube, for instance, we end up with more people viewing and watching the event than those who viewed it live. And if our objective is to reach as many people as possible in our community and beyond, I think the practical thing to do is to have it recorded and available for YouTube or the Caribbean Commission website, whichever is appropriate, all of the above if possible. And I'd like some guidance. I'd like some guidance from Ms. Madigan and Ms. Dekja concerning that. Ms. Madigan, is that something
yeah.
we can do?
Yes, sir, that is 100% possible. We
Thank
can we could record this and it can be uploaded to YouTube and also to GOSI's website.
Thank you very much. That makes my heart
Just like our
rejoice.
commission meetings, like this meeting we're having now.
Yeah, because it really is a fact. More people watch it after the event than during the event. And so I think that is very, very important. Any other suggestions at this point going forward?
Well, we would like to talk about the proposed dates, and so there will need to be another motion for that. Of course, in the proposal that you all received, there were some August dates because the hope was that it was going to be in Caribbean Heritage Month, but the dates that we are asking your consideration for, oh, we're on the same page, Samantha. The dates
I have it Thursday, September 25th, or Thursday, October 23rd, with an evening time frame.
Okay.
September is going to be very, very difficult because it's African Heritage Month. We have 3 events happening during that month, and we have a lot of planning going on. I thought this was going to be put off a little later.
Besides
You
that-
might have more insights.
Okay, what I have right now on top of my head is that probably will need a little more time after September. Probably August is the best option, considering the fact that, well, we're still looking for 2 additional panelists, and we also need to give some I mean, sometimes to suggest panelists to see if they have availability in the calendar and also prepare any kind of material that they would like to share. So I think a
Second
best
date-
option, sorry, say again?
The second
Commissioner
date is
Howard?
October 23rd.
I think it's fine for me. Mrs. Madigan, could you please confirm the date?
What time are you talking about, Commissioner Howard? Are you talking daytime, nighttime, evening? I have that date available.
Mm,
October 23rd is available.
Commissioner Buckley, your thoughts?
Yes, I'm totally fine with the dates.
Okay, so, I'm just putting something in my calendar right now, Caribbean Forum. What timing are you looking at?
Probably the same 6:30 time
Oh my goodness,
frame.
just remembered something.
Okay,
For that date.
But it's okay.
pick another day. I'll tell
mean,
you if I'm available.
We can look at November dates. How about November 6th? That's also a Thursday.
Hold
Well,
on.
I mean, could we do the following Thursday, October 30th?
I am available.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're available too.
Huh?
If I may,
Mhm.
yes.
Mhm.
Just just an idea, another suggestion. Looking at process here again, would it make does it make any sense? Let's say if we have Ms. Madigan, a couple of dates, so 2 or 3 dates that we consider, and I like we do for most events here especially in Maryland. We look and see what type of activities there are during that time frame. So, like for example, we just came up with one, and you said that the African Commission is African Heritage Month. So we may, so have a couple of dates, including the October date, tentative set up, so that, but maybe take a look and see what other activities there are that may conflict or may detract others from attending, participating.
I think
Just
that's
an
what
idea.
she did by looking at the calendar. That's how she was able to tell us that quickly about the events. in
Yeah,
September.
Okay, okay,
exactly. I have my calendar up. I'm
Okay.
looking right now. So October 30th, I'm clear. 23rd, you weren't too clear, Commissioner Buckley. So the 30th, I'm good.
Okay.
If you guys wanted to go into November, I could click over to that month. So you want to do it for October 30th?
Yeah.
And what time?
Same time in the evening.
Like
Okay, so you want it like 6:30 to 8:30?
Mhm.
Is 2 hours gonna
2
be
hours.
plenty for this?
Because we really just want it to be 90 minutes. So.
Oh, 90 minutes?
but give a little spillover for
Mhm.
Okay, 6:30 to 8:30. If you
Yeah.
end early, you end early.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm just gonna save it. I'm not sending nothing out formal right now. I'm just putting it on my calendar at the moment.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Like, what are your thoughts about the topic, wellness, and what that means for us as Caribbean people? You're muted.
I personally think it's a good topic. And I think it's important that you have someone on the panel who can speak to mental health wellness
Mhm.
in this time of extreme stress within the immigrant community.
That was actually the catalyst for this, because we remember earlier this year in particular, that many immigrants were fearful of traveling because people were getting snatched up off of the street. So I'm really happy to hear you say that, because it affirms the initial thoughts and the direction of this event.
Yes. people need guidance.
Mhm.
Although the panelists will not be providing professional guidance, they will be providing a discussion around some of those issues. I have to assume, based on the topic and how you have described the forum so far.
Mhm.
So we do need somebody to elaborate a little bit during the discussions on mental illness, mental awareness, and so on and so forth, because that is very key to health and wellness. And the Caribbean community as a whole is an immigrant community or connected in some way to the immigrant community, whether parents, grandparents, or otherwise, or they themselves. So I just wanted to throw that a little bit in there.
Mhm. Mhm. Thank you.
Any other comments on anything? This is the time to do it. Samantha, since you have your hands up.
Yes. No, I just wanted to kind of comment on what you were saying in the sense of wellness and circle back to what Commissioner Buckley was talking about as the definition of wellness or the different ways of accessing the topic of wellness, and definitely including the mental health aspect of wellness, but also like the cultural connection and identity portion of wellness, physical wellness, economic stability as an indicator of wellness, and also professional development and things like that, particularly now in the era of a lot of people losing their employment, and feeling that impact, and community dynamics. So it would be a very robust conversation around the different indicators of wellness.
Yes.
And the questions will be guided, and panelists will be given the questions ahead of time. The reason for that is because while it's okay to ask some impromptu questions, you want the participants to be able to prepare in a concise way, and to be able to share information that will be useful. So.
Will there be, I think that's a good way of doing it, to manage expectations, so to speak. But I also would like to know if within the panel you will have anyone who understands diversity and equity and inclusion
Mhm.
in what is offered out there or what is available out there. I think that's very important to have someone speak on that particular topic during the discussion, because any forum of this kind must address the disparities that exist and where people must turn for relief, so to speak.
I believe the director has her hand up.
Yes, thank you, Commissioner Howard. Something that I want to confirm with the commission is exactly who's gonna be involved in the planning. I mean, I know it's gonna be Commissioner Howard, Commissioner Buckley, but anybody else that maybe who wants to be involved in the organization or, I mean, have time, right, to be part of this project. I don't think we address it.
No, I mean, it's committee
No,
work. Everybody is.
hold on a second. Hold on a second, please. In terms of planning the content of the event, I leave that up to the committee of commissioners and any other commissioner they wish to recruit to that committee, or any other commissioner that volunteers to serve with that committee. I think the content is basically already conceptualized, and we've adopted that basically. So the inclusion now of Roki on the event side, the staging of the event, is important. And so I would expect that the lead commissioners on this will work closely with Roki to set up the event itself. But in terms of the content, that is left entirely to the commissioners. Anyone has any problem with what I just said or would like to comment on that? Clearly, my message was very clear to everybody. We're about approaching the end of this meeting. So in the next couple of minutes, I'd like to ask Commissioner Buckley, Commissioner Howard, either or both, to give your final comments.
I'll let you go first, Samantha.
Well, number one, thank you for the vote. I think that it is going to be an amazing event. I'm very excited for it. I think it's very timely and very necessary. And I'm extremely excited to work with Commissioner Buckley on this and to create a program that will make the commission proud.
Yeah, I would echo those sentiments. I'm really excited about this topic from our lens, because a lot of times I think that we don't realize the natural resources that we have and the strengths that we have, the things that we inherently do that contribute to our wellness. And so I'm thrilled about this opportunity to be able to normalize wellness from a Caribbean perspective. That's it.
Before I close the meeting, I just want to ask a question. In your planning, with 6 panelists, you know that's a lot, but anyway, how much time will you give each one for opening statement?
Great question. We haven't drilled that down yet, but I would estimate, just based on other panel discussions that I have planned, but we're open to feedback, 2 minutes, 2 minutes to offer a brief introduction. And then, they can share, their contact information if people want to learn more about them.
Oh, you're breaking up. At least for me, you broke up. I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, that was it. 2 minutes.
Okay.
Yep.
And then the moderators will take over and ask questions.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
To bring out the meat of the thing.
And then again,
okay.
The hope is really that you remember we have earmarked 20 to 30 minutes for participation for crowd, well, not crowd because we're going to be online, but for virtual attendee participation. So it's going to be really important that we keep the panelists on track, so that we can shift to the crowd participation. There's another term, but I'm drawing a blank on what that term would
Q&A.
be. Thank you.
Yeah.
Q&A.
I hear. We all understand what you're saying.
Thank you.
Once you've decided on your panelists, and again, I recommend that both you and Commissioner Howard be the moderators, co-moderators. Once you've decided on that, will it be possible for a flyer to be prepared? I see Ms. Madigan nodding her head, so that all of us commissioners can put that flyer out to the public, in our networks and whoever we know, to ensure full participation. I think that's going to be important. And the sooner we can start doing that, will be the better. It wouldn't be, I hope it's not too much to ask, if we could have a save the date flyer to begin with.
Oh, that's a great idea. Didn't even think of that.
Okay, now I'm just asking, would a commissioner want to do this? Or do you want us to have one of our staff to do it?
But I don't have the skills for sure.
Can we,
Okay,
can we work with one of your staff? I mean, because I
think one of your staff
Yes.
sounds reasonable.
yes, well, we can get our communications person, Tanea Jones. So just be to get in touch with you, Melissa, and Samantha, and just have AD Deca and myself CC'd with the correspondence that goes back and forth between the three of
Right.
you. All right.
Topic and save the date and, a little blurb.
Just quick, Commissioner Buckley, Commissioner Howard, just quickly, once we put it out publicly, as the chairman stated, would we need to RSVP this event to control the numbers? Because, once you put it out in the public, it may exceed the 100. So I wasn't sure if it does go over, or do we RSVP the event? How does that, how would you, it's something to think about.
I think
Well, that depends on the capacity
exactly.
Oh,
of Roche's
okay.
Zoom
I misunderstood.
connection.
I saw 100 participants. Sorry, I misunderstood. I thought
Oh
I had
yeah,
seen
that's just the goal. The
Oh,
goal
okay.
is at least
Okay, you're
100.
gonna exceed it. I know once you put it out. So, but I saw 100. That's what I was thinking. Okay, got it.
But it does so and Samantha did ask the question about like what is the capacity, because then in terms of that we would need to have a sense of what the support will look like to make sure that somebody's in the chat box, making sure that people are put back on mute, because
That's right.
all of those logistical things.
That's right.
Okay, I raised my hand, but I gonna speak now. I'm sorry, I was trying to be respectful. I also want to ask
Go
to the
Kian.
commission if we're gonna have like weekly or bi-weekly meetings to planning and going and all the logistics. Because I mean, as all of you have seen, there is questions about the logistics, the planning, and all of these different factors. Any suggestions, or when are we gonna have these planning meetings?
I'm sorry, I have a question to your question, which is when you say we, who do you mean by we?
I mean, the commission, and of course, it has to be present as staff member of the GOSI.
Why would it need to be
The entire commission or the committee?
The committee. I mean, whoever is going to be in the
Yeah,
creation
so
of this planning.
Thank you for your question. The committee is happy to meet. I don't think that we need to meet weekly, but we're happy to meet with you to discuss the logistics.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So
but GOSI has to schedule these meetings. Right now, all meetings have to be scheduled. Any public, regular commission meetings, any planning meetings, any subcommittee meetings, we have to schedule them all.
When you say schedule, what do you mean? In what format?
So
And
that
what-
means that when
In what
Ed
format?
and I meet, that we have to go through Gochi to schedule them. Like that. This is precisely one of the issues that was raised several months ago in terms of
Okay.
like the barriers to being productive. This is a committee right now of 2, and of course anybody is welcome to join. When we signed up for the committees, we were all on everybody's committees. So everybody can be on this committee. But the thought that we would have to go, we as adults have to come and get permission to have a meeting, that was not my understanding at all.
Mhm. I totally understand your comments, Commissioner Buckley. Thank you so much for raising up. It's my understanding that a common communication to clarify those parameters will be in the coming days from the upper management. But in the last conversation that we have with upper management, it's my understanding that yes, it has to be like I say, we need to check the availability of Gochi calendar, since these reunions, right, they are public records.
So
But
planning meetings are public record?
Yes. See, another commission brought up some issues. I'm trying to keep this simple. Brought up some issues on meetings. And so they asked GOSI to look into it. So we went to the office, the Attorney General's office of the Attorney General, and we have to follow the Open Meetings Act. And all this information is in the Open Meetings Act. So it's like 15 reasons where you could have a closed meeting. And everything that we discuss right now, like we are now, and during commission meetings and all that, there's no reason to have a closed meeting. So they all supposed to be public meetings.
So
Look,
walk me
I have
through
a
what a
recommendation.
planning meeting would look like.
Wait a minute, I have a recommendation. I would ask my co-chairs of the Health Committee to communicate by email what it is they need from Gochi with respect to logistics. There is no necessity to have Gochi schedule an open meeting for you to discuss logistics. That makes absolutely no management sense to me. That, to me, is wasting people's time. If you cannot communicate by email, then God help us all. We're wasting our time. Look, Cheryl, I respect the rules. And so I'm saying there's no need for a meeting. Whatever you need can be communicated by email, and any response you have can be by email. Any differences in request and what is available can be ironed out by simple email exchanges. So, I don't know why they make it so burdensome for 2 out of 5 commissioners who are leading on planning an event have to have an open meeting, which I will not chair. I can tell you that right now. My time is too valuable for that. If every time they need to have a discussion with Gochi, there has to be an open meeting chaired by whom? Not this chairman. And I'm laying down my rules as to how I will operate. It's a total waste of time, and time is valuable. So I want that to be known, and you can tell the Attorney General I said so.
Sorry.
And by the way, he knows me very well.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
I'm not being antagonistic to
No.
you, Cheryl, or to you, Ms. Deckler. I'm speaking to practicality.
I
And if we
understand.
want to advance the work of this commission, we have to figure out how to get it done without the bureaucracy.
Totally agree with that.
So I hope my commissioners are on board with me in what I said. Because if you oppose what I said, then we'll have to do it some other way.
Yeah, I don't think anyone is opposing or would oppose, but I you know, respectfully for Ms. Madigan and Ms. Detcher, I think they said it will get back to us. I only have one question, and that is, if we went the email process or the email route, which I think is a good one, the question I would have is the outcome out of those exchanges, if you will. Does the outcome of the decisions that would have arrived because of that communication, is that something that then has to be public? In other
Yes.
words? Okay, so that's where we may run into a little bit of a glitch. I'm not sure, but I'm not the lawyer here. But if which I agree with, we should be able to communicate and resolve and plan this process. I do agree 100% with what the chairman has stated. However, my question would be just what you just answered me, is that the outcome of that, those sort of informal discussions and planning, if that has to go public for a public meeting or whatever, then that may become a problem for us in terms of questions being asked. How did we arrive at that?
Well, look, this discussion is published already.
Right.
So the public knows we are planning an event, and we're going to send them a save the date about the event. They will receive details about the event when the time is ready.
Right.
And Commissioner and Vice Chair, Maxine, if every time our committee needs to have a discussion with Goki about this event, I hope you'll be available to chair the meeting.
No, I'm in agreement with you. It's okay. You got it.
Oh, I for a moment I thought you weren't.
No. You got it. I'm just clarifying it. You got it.
No, I was very respectful. I was very respectful to Ms. Morgan and Ms. Deckja.
Yeah.
I was telling them that they don't make the rules. They're only informing us of the rules. And
You know,
all of us commissioners should be smart enough to be able to get things done without being handicapped and handcuffed by the rules.
It's absolutely a barrier. And, you know, at the top of this meeting, well, not the top, but, you know, Cheryl, you shared with us that the African Commission has, you know, a robust schedule in September. And it just makes me think, like, every time we hear about the other commissions and the great things that they're doing, and then I think about the struggles that we have, and here's another struggle, like we have to go through all these hoops to have meetings. We need the barriers removed so that we can do what we have been commissioned to do.
Mhm. Mhm. Well, once again, gentlemen and ladies, I think we can share these comments, right? And please be bear with us once we have the formal letter or communication. But once again, this information that we're sharing is because it's established in the Open Meetings Act of Maryland.
Absolutely.
I hear you. I appreciate what you said. And I am making it very clear about my position with regard to those arcane procedures that you're telling us about. We're all busy people. And while I can take 1 minute and send you a 500-word email, I have to take a whole hour to tell you exactly what's in that email and to get your response. No. And in many cases, if we make a request to you, the representatives of Roki, you may not be able to give us a response during the meeting. You may have to check somewhere else. So we would have wasted time coming to the meeting and putting forward our requests, our needs, whatever it might be. And you must understand, everybody here busy. I really didn't expect to take this discussion beyond 7:30. We're now almost up to 8 o'clock. It wasn't on my schedule. I still have some things I need to get done before midnight. So, we're all busy and we're not stupid people. I know I can speak for myself, and I know I'm on good grounds if I speak to everybody else where that is concerned. And I want us to be shown that level of respect.
Well, once again, Chairman, thank you so much for your comments. Yes, we're gonna share it. But please just wait for we'll have more of the official parameters that we're gonna share.
At this point in time, I'd like to close this meeting. I think we are spinning wheels at this moment. I know how I'll proceed in the future, and I believe I know how this commission will proceed in the future. I believe I know. And so I'd like a commissioner at this point to move a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn this special called meeting at 7:49 p.m.
I second it.
It's moved and seconded. Did you get the names of the movers and seconded? Who was it that seconded?
I move.
Well, to me, normally I would think the chair would call for the motion and then the commissioners would first and second it.
I think Buckley moved and
I
someone
moved.
seconded, something like
Yeah,
that.
he called for the motion. I moved.
I
Okay, you're the
did
first.
call for the motion.
Yeah.
Okay, and Commissioner Christian seconded?
No.
Howard.
Samantha Howard second.
Howard. Oh, okay, sorry.
That's okay.
My apologies. Okay.
I accepted. All those in favor of ending this meeting?
Aye.
Aye.
All those against? Abstain? No vote? The ayes have it. Ladies and gentlemen, commissioners and members of Roki staff, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.
Cheryl,
Thank
I
you.
wanted to chat with you really quickly for a second about the abstention, because I want to be clear about what I was
Okay.
saying.
Let me
When you're doing your research.
okay. I'm gonna hit stop recording on this. Okay, transcript. Where's recording? Okay.
And I am by no means a Robert's Rules aficionado. It's, you know what I mean? But I just know that, well, my understanding